All right, my beautiful family. So today we're going to be talking about creatine. And let me tell you why you should consider taking creatine. I'm going to tell you a few things, and then you tell me if this is something that might be interesting to you of the benefits, and then you could tell me if it's something that you want to take. And then I'm gonna explain at what ages, what type, how much, should you preload, when should you take it, should you take time off, and myths about it. So thing number one, if you should consider taking creatine. If you want to gain muscle, then definitely creatine is something that you should consider taking. Because if there's one supplement that has been studied so much that shows to be super effective with very little, if maybe not even no side effects, is creatine. Building muscle is gonna be very easier with creatine because when you take creatine, it's gonna help you push more weight, do more reps because your muscles are gonna fatigue less. So for example, if you're at the gym doing bicep curls, with creatine, you might be able to squeeze a few more reps, and because you did more reps, over time, you're gonna gain more muscle. So that's one thing. Thing number two, if you care about having good brain function, then you might wanna be taking creatine because there's studies out there that show that as people get older and they take creatine, people have better brain energy, they have better memory because of taking creatine. Just know, in summary, the brain uses a lot of energy, a lot of ATP. And when you take creatine, creatine helps with producing energy. So it just keeps the person more sharp. Thing number three, if you care to have healthy bones, which oftentimes people are taking supplements, calcium, and wanting to maintain healthy bones, then creatine is gonna be a supplement that's gonna help you with that. Because if you build muscle and have more energy, that means that because you have bigger muscles, it's easier to move your skeleton. So more likely you're gonna have healthier bones if you take creatine. Next, another thing is if you care about having better glucose metabolism in your body, which could be like, hey, with people as they age, you probably know a lot of people that as they age, they get diabetes, or eventually they're pre-diabetic. If you want to prevent that from happening to you, taking creatine is going to be helpful because the more muscle you have, the better glucose metabolism you're going to have. Because I want you to know that your muscles are the ones that metabolize the glucose. So that means that better glucose metabolism, less likely for you to get diabetes, or even if you have diabetes, it will be better to control your diabetes. And lastly, which I think is the most important one that most people care too, is if you want to lose body fat, then taking creatine is going to be beneficial because creatine helps you build more muscle. And when you have more muscle in your body, you're able to burn more fat. Because picture you having more muscle, you're like a big diesel truck. It requires more gas to move that big diesel truck. So that means it requires more energy. So that means if you have more muscle in your body, you need more energy to move those muscles. So your body could use that body fat for energy. So that means that you could burn more fat and be in better shape. So now if you care about any of these benefits, let me tell you what ages should be taking these supplements. So recommended, somebody at the age of 18 and older should take these supplements. And let me tell you why. Somebody less than 18 years old probably shouldn't be taking these supplements because they're still young. Their body is still developing. That with them just eating right and training right, they're still growing, that they don't need this little extra supplement. But once you turn 18, your body's a little bit more developed, creatine could be helpful. And then even if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, definitely take creatine. Creatine has been seen as this bodybuilding supplement for a very long time, but nowadays they're being used in hospitals with the elderly because it shows how elderly taking creatine and doing exercise. Doesn't have to be crazy amount of weight exercise, but just body weight exercises, walking, something that's challenging to them. They maintain their muscle mass and they're less likely to have falls, which is very common as people age. People when they're older, a lot of people that end up at the hospitals because they fall, they lose their balance and break something. So you having more muscle is going to help you with preventing falls and overall health. So anybody in that age range could take creatine. So now let's talk about what type of creatine. So there's going to be, the creatine that you want to take though is creatine monohydrate, but there is so many different creatines out there. The only one that I can think off the top of my head right now is creatine creatinine. But just picture creatine something, and then they hype it up at these GNCs and different companies. And then they're sometimes so pricey because it's a lot of advertisement that they're doing. But I want you to know that you only need the most basic creatine, which is creatine monohydrate. And that's the least expensive, and it's the one that's always been used in studies that show the best results. So it's not expensive and it actually shows results. So creatine monohydrate. So now, how much creatine should you take? So the recommendation is going to be 3 to 5 grams a day. 3 to 5 grams. Shoot for the 5 grams, but 3 to 5 grams is the recommendation. But 5 grams every single day is good. One thing that you might ask yourself, because it is a common practice that has been seen in the bodybuilding world or in the fitness world, is loading creatine, meaning that I just told you, you should be taking 5 grams every single day. So normally you would just day 1 take 5 grams, day 2 5 grams. But creatine loading, they sometimes, day 1, they take 25 grams. For the whole first week, every day, 25 grams. And then they take 20 and 15 and then 10 and then eventually 5 a day. So they're loading it in the beginning and then just going back to the 5 gram a day. You don't have to do any loading. Just take 5 grams a day from day 1 and then give it a few weeks. It's going to accumulate in your body. And then after a few weeks, you're going to start seeing the benefits of less muscle fatigue and overall getting the benefits of better exercise performance. So now you might ask yourself, when should I be taking creatine? So just to tell you where the studies show the best results is after your workout. But I want to tell you this. The main important thing is take it that day every single day. So if you forget to take it after your workout, just take it anytime you remember to take it. The important thing is take it within that day, because that's the most important thing. Take it every single day. So for example, me, I know that the best time is after your workouts. I don't care. I take it in the morning, first thing in the morning, because that's when I remember. I wake up and I put it in my pre-workout and I drink it, and then that way I don't forget. So just take it whenever you remember. So that's why just find a time and take it within that day. Now, the question about should you take time off from it? Should you take it forever? 6 months? 3 months? And the answer is you could take it for life every single day. And there is no harm, because I want you to know that creatine is made naturally inside your body. So it's not something that we're just putting in our body. It's naturally made inside our body. Even if we don't take it with the supplement, your body's making it. So it's nothing harmful. All we're doing is just giving our body a little more creatine just to get a boost of more energy to get these health benefits. So you could take it 7 days straight, every single day. And let's talk about the myths, because these myths continue on and on. And this is the main myth. People don't want to take creatine because they hear you're going to retain water. And a lot of times people that are taking supplements want to lose weight. So they're like, oh, I'm going to retain water. I don't want to take creatine, because the whole point is I want to lose weight. So they don't want to take creatine. But I want you to know that the water that you retain because of creatine is inside your muscle. It's not water retention like if you just had a big fat cheat meal and you feel bloated and disgusted. That's not the type of water retention you're going to get from creatine. The water is going to be inside the muscle. So now picture your muscle like a balloon. it's gonna be full of water. So it's gonna be nice and round. So now your bicep is gonna look nice and round. So you're actually gonna look in better shape, like better physique because of the creatine. So it's not a bad water retention that you're gonna get. And lastly, we'll just finish saying that creatine is gonna be good for your overall health. If you wanna have long, healthy years to come, it's gonna be beneficial. If you wanna have a great looking physique, it's gonna be beneficial. And it's gonna help you with your longevity. And this is one of the reasons why I think creatine is so important. Longevity, because you want to be a person that is 80 years old and you could wipe your own butt. You could cook your own meals, shower on your own, do your own yard. You want to be able to do things on your own. And if you retain your muscle mass, which creatine helps you with that, then that means that you're going to have enough muscle to be able to do all these daily living things. But a lot of times when people get older, the reason that they need help with wiping their butt and doing all these things is because they lose all their muscle mass and now they're so weak they can't get off the floor because they don't have enough muscle. And so if you don't want to be that person, creatine could be helpful to retain your muscle for many years to come. All right, family, so that wraps up the video. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help to push this video to be viewed by many more people. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.